Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. If you're loving what you're hearing on the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, go out and tell 2 friends today. Show them how easy it is to subscribe to the show. The Real Estate Espresso Podcast is available on more than 20 different platforms. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you're sure to find the Real Estate Espresso Podcast. Spread the love around. Why keep all this goodness to yourself? On today's show, we're talking about another constraint in the world of real estate development and construction. The labor shortage that's been making headlines is being experienced across the entire construction industry. It's particularly being felt in many of the support services that assist builders. Any construction site will require some very basic services like safety fencing and portable toilets. Something as simple and as commodity as portable toilets has actually become incredibly difficult to source. As a developer, you would never even pay attention to that or imagine that toilets would be a constraint. Well, it turns out that on one of our projects, we had 3 companies in the past week completely decline to provide the service to our projects because they were not taking on any additional business from now until well into the new year. They were completely short-staffed and could not handle any additional business. It took no less than 6 phone calls to find a single company that would provide a portable toilet to a construction site. This is shocking. A portable toilet is a requirement for any construction site. The building inspector will shut you down if you don't have one. We've had several other suppliers of construction equipment decline our business as well. They simply didn't have the staff to take on additional work. The companies that manufacture engineered roof trusses in our local market are not accepting any additional business until spring of 2022. We had to go to a company located a 3-hour drive from the job site in order to source roof trusses and laminated beams. Commodity items like trash bins were routinely ordered a day in advance, but in today's environment, you need to plan 3 to 4 days in advance for a bin pickup and replacement. These types of lead times can definitely create problems in a construction schedule. Sometimes the creative solution is to find another supplier that has a special relationship to the project. In our case, we found a supplier for waste bins located less than a quarter mile from the property. We found that if they had 15 minutes at the end of the day, was not enough time for them to do a full delivery at a far-off location. But for a property a quarter mile from their compound, they could definitely deliver immediately. They could literally squeeze us in, and that's what they did. We found the same thing with engineering work. We needed a complete HVAC design, a complete mechanical design for a project. The major engineering firms all had significant backlog. Even getting a project started on the books would require a lengthy wait before an engineer could even quote the project, let alone perform the work. Well, we found an engineer who works for a major brand, and he was able to get the design done by moonlighting on a side job. His personal time management decisions were different than the company's time management queue. We were able to get the design completed for a fraction of the cost of the corporate contract and in a fraction of the time using the exact same skills that would be used for a corporate engagement. There was no compromise in quality, and we experienced a saving in time and money. But most people don't even think to look for these types of avenues. We needed a piece of construction equipment to dig a small trench for electrical service. The cost to deliver the backhoe to the property was nearly $1,000, and not only that, the delay to schedule both the equipment and the operator was measured in weeks. In a few weeks, with the onset of winter, there's no guarantee the ground won't be frozen by then. We may have to wait 6 months for the ground to thaw again. Instead, we've been seeing a backhoe parked on a property less than half a mile from the construction site, and we have not seen that backhoe move in a long time. So we asked the owner, literally by knocking on their door, if they would be willing to either rent or operate the backhoe for a few hours. The point is there's underutilized skills and assets out there, and those assets don't show up on the first page of Google. Everyone is searching on the first page of Google, and those underutilized assets, either they're on page 10 of Google or they have 0 online presence altogether. In a capacity-constrained environment, demand is saturating those top hits in the internet search engines. You go further down the list, and there's a lot of very poor operators in the unprofessional, poorly marketed end of the spectrum. But a subset of those are excellent, just poorly marketed. These are the gems that are hidden beneath the surface, flying below the radar. See, resource management is not just about supply chain problems of sourcing appliances and door handles that are in short supply. It's also about finding the skills that are holding back your projects from moving forward. If you don't have someone in your organization whose job it is to shop not just for the right equipment and for the right materials, but also for the right people, then you're leaving the outcome to chance. As you think about that, have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.